So there's been a lot of interest in this book lately. Again, we found this in the bathroom while I was tearing out the walls. It was shoved in a corner in the attic, along with a lot of other items that we still have yet to catalog, I suppose. But originally this book really caught my eye because I'm aware of the author, Chan Thomas, and it seems like a lot of you also are aware of him. Mostly he is well known for writing the Adam and Eve story, which is a book about magnetic pole shifts and the end of the world. So if you're really into that kind of stuff, this is more of a conspiratorial, I guess, kind of post than what we usually do. But since everyone was so interested in this book, I figured I'd share some of the contents of this book. I feel like it would be wrong not to share this information. Whether it's correct or not correct, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a chemist, I'm not a physicist. But in this book, Chan Thomas claims to know the causes of cancer and how to mitigate that if you have cancer. When I found this book, there were a few newspaper clippings inside that stained the book. Chan Thomas was a flair for the dramatic. From 1950 to 1960, male deaths from lung cancer rose 73%. And you see here this staining. That's because for half a century there's been a newspaper clipping in here, a few actually newspaper clippings in here about treatments for cancer. These are articles written in the late 60s. And this book, We Are the Killers, was published in 1966. There's a pamphlet in here that basically explains that Chan Thomas's father became ill with cancer, and that is why this book was delayed in printing. So I found that interesting. As he was writing this book on cancer, his father became ill with cancer. You know, there's a lot of what we would consider outdated information in this book because, like we know, tobacco smoke has been proven to cause cancer. Broiled steaks, and there's some other items that he mentions, other things that he mentions that could be giving you leukemia at mealtime, can give you cancer. And it is a lot of things that people nowadays know. Smoking tobacco causes lung cancer. Everyone knows that. The chemicals from car exhaust, especially back then, was a lot more toxic than it is now. Because it's a lot of claims, right? Like he's claiming, he claims burnt toast will give you cancer. It's easy to make claims, but what's fascinating is that towards the end, he finally gets into the science of it, I guess, if you will, the chemistry and the physics, and that's what I think is interesting. But I also don't know if it's true. He wrote a lot of interesting books in the past that has some rather wild information in it. And but my high school yearbook quote was, "There's never any talent without a stain of madness." And so, yeah, some of the things he says is crazy, but there are probably some truths hidden within this as well. You never know. I don't know. Just reiterating, I don't know. So let me just read a quick passage. When you burn organic material, some of it is not completely burned, and most of the incompletely burned material is smoke. Lurking in the smoke are complex benzenes. One of the most notorious is benzoaprene, a known cause of cancer. I believe that's BPA. I don't know. I think we know that now. If you take any of the benzoaprene into your body or put it on your skin, it can get into your body chemistry and start cancer. basically We Are the Killers is basically he lists out what can cause cancer. I mean, this I don't know is true. 1 pound broiled steak can equal 300 cigarettes. That's quite a claim, and I love my steaks, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that information. But he has a flair for the dramatics, you know. You could be giving your child leukemia with what you serve them at dinner. We create cancer and leukemia ceaselessly every day by the way we live. We expect the medical researchers to come up with a pill, a drug, a vaccine, an injection, which will stop the overwhelming march of these diseases. They will not. The diseases will march on and win and win and win as long as our personal habits persist. The pitiful thing is that one person's habits can give another unsuspecting person cancer, and that a restaurant can be doing the same thing to its customers. Yes, we are the killers. So he's basically saying we're giving ourselves cancer by doing these cancer-causing activities. The final chapter in here is called The Villain. And here I think he gets down to the nitty-gritty of the chemistry and the physics of what causes cancer. And this I would love to get in like a comment feedback on from people who are much more educated than I am on this, to, you know, either debunk or support what I'm about to say here. Nobody knows exactly what cancer and leukemia are. Let's discuss it from a theoretical viewpoint. Remember, this was written in 1966. We know cancer is a nuclear disorder. It takes nuclear radiation to straighten it out. There's the greatest clue of all. We know that free radical electron spin resonance indicates 3 electrons in the outer orbit of some carbon atoms, but carbon must have 4 there. We know that although cancer tissue is alive, it is actually a masquerading dead flesh, something very close to healthy flesh, yet not the same. We know products of burned living or ex-living matter, the aromatic content only, contain seeds of cancer and leukemia. Again, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not a chemist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physicist, but I think it's worthwhile to pass this knowledge on, whether or not it's true or not. You know, let people decide for themselves. So this was interesting. I'm curious to see if we can do other videos like this, because we do have a lot of other interesting books that we've found in the corners of this house, and we're happy to share them with you. So thanks for listening.